Hi, my name is Ambika Mattu and I'm the editor of Femina. Welcome to the first edition of Nine Yards, a space where we discuss our love for all things to do with the sari. And joining us today to discuss her love for the sari is the incredible actor and dancer, Mouni Roy. Hi, Mouni.
Hello, how are you?
Good to
Can't tell
see
you how
you.
happy I am to be here talking about one of my most favorite outfits, saris. I think I have grown up wearing them, whether it was Saraswati Pujo, Durga Pujo.
Mhm.
And, there's a saying in Bengali, Baro Mashe Tero Parbon, which means we have 13 festivals in 12 months.
Mhm.
So, and in all of them, I think pretty much we wear saris. So
I know, and you do look incredible in them. So you're the perfect person to be speaking to about this.
thank you.
I just wanted to kind of start a little bit with how saris have been part of your family's narrative, because we all know, with our aunts and mothers and grandmothers, there's always, that one sari that you remember or that has been passed on to you for safekeeping. So tell me a little bit about the sari in your family.
It wouldn't be just one saris. In fact, I was just thinking about it. It would be a lot of lal part saris, the red border, white and
Of
red
course.
border,
Uh-huh.
and then it was modified with a little bit of gold, with Nanima and then my mother, the Banarasis that they used to wear,
Mhm.
uh, both in red and in gold. Also, I remember them wearing saris with almost everything. Like even in winters, they'd wear these big warm coats, and they'd wear saris on top of that.
Mhm.
And, with sneakers when we would travel. So sari has been also, I remember when we were 5 or 6 years old, and we had to attend some family function or some pujo.
Mhm.
There'd be these small little saris that were specially made for us with
Wow.
matching blouses. So and I remember when I grew up, and I also gave it to my cousins in the same way. My mom's sari, or dadi's sari, and nani's saris, they're all there with me. Also, I am from Kuch Bihar, so it's a very, very, we wear a lot of handmade saris.
Hmm.
So there used to be this aunt, and she's no more now, but she used to make these Jamini Roy paintings on
Hmm.
saris. So I
Wow.
have quite a few of them as well, but they're not here. They're back home with my mother in West Bengal. So yeah, I really have a collection of saris, and I feel like I'm very, very close to them. In fact, while speaking to you, I think I'm going to take them all out and start wearing them again.
I think you absolutely should. And I have to say, saris with sneakers is a vibe. And I think
Yeah.
every single woman should do that.
And
Um,
people have started doing it now in the last couple of years. We have done it since forever.
Forever.
It
Exactly.
was almost like, I remember when Devdas had released, and I used to say ish korishna, but that it's just like you make sounds, or you have exclamation marks in Bengalis,
Mm.
that sounds like gibberish, and
Mhm.
people said, oh, you're copying from this film or that film, and we're like, no, it's there, it's been there in our tradition like forever, and this is
Exactly.
how we kind of talk or express ourselves.
And that's why films pick it up, because it's actually part
Yeah.
of culture. And that's what films reflect as well. No, I hear you. I mean, I remember my grandmother and, being in North India wearing her saris with bata sneakers at that point
Yes.
to run
Yes.
around and do kind of like the groceries and everything. So I completely understand what you're talking about. We are also a trained classical dancer. So the sari must have played quite a role in your life from relatively early on. So can you recall any special instances or memories of wearing a sari through this element of your life, this part of your life?
So I have done Kathak for about a year, actually 2 years, a couple of years when I was really, really little.
Mm-hmm.
No, so in practice sessions, we used to wear those small little saris, but I do
Exactly.
remember making outfits out of my mom's saris. And especially the Banarasi, the brocade, or, the one with the chicken kari and embroidery,
Mm-hmm.
things that I needed for my performances, whether it was school performances or our tests, the Kathak exams or the practical exams. So that is what I remember doing with my mom's saris, really. Otherwise,
That's,
we used to have, there's a proper costume you
course.
kind of need to wear and
Mhm.
follow in every single routine that you do, or the choreography that
Yeah.
you're dancing to.
You know, I mean, this makes me think, given what we were speaking about earlier with our mums, grandmoms, everybody that we've grown up with, the women in our families and ourselves, it's interesting to me that women have kind of created this sort of a narrative that the sari is difficult to wear and to maneuver. It's something that you very rightfully said is changing. It's coming back. I mean, there's campaigns on social media to kind of highlight that it's actually one of the most versatile garments to wear. I'm just wondering, how did we complicate the sari so much? You know, where did that come from?
I don't really find it very, very complicated, or I just feel like it's 9 yards of, like you started, 9 yards of grace and elegance, and it's open to interpretation. Like, to me, the traditional Bengali way of wearing a sari, or the normal Sida Pallu sari, is the most elegant and dignified way to wear it. But I feel like with it being so fluid, it flows. This is a garment that flows. You can actually wrap it around any way that you want and any way that you like. Also, any way that it really, really suits you or looks nice on you. So that is kind of my interpretation. I also truly, along with the superficial, not superficial, like along with the fashion side of it, I also, I mean, it provides business, or it supports more than 10 million craftsmen. So I kind of think that it's a good thing. Let them wear it in every single way, and let people make more saris. Let us buy more of them and support the traditional sari business. So that is my take on it. I love it. I love watching, even on Instagram. I feel like, so many people, I couldn't do it. I swear to God, like if you asked me to wrap it around in like 5 different ways, I'd just be clueless. Yeah. But when I see other people doing it, it's I feel like it's quite innovative, and to each their own. Good for them if they are doing it and they can successfully wear it out and even go to an event like that. So
I completely agree, and it also just works for every single body type because it drapes so beautifully, like you said. So I think that the sari actually really celebrates women and men, actually, whoever wants to wear them. It looks absolutely fabulous. Saris also have been quite the norm for you in your on-screen life. We've seen you rocking some incredible saris on Nagin or in Kyunki Saas Hi Kabhi Bahu Thi, and you also wore some incredible vintage designs in gold. I remember looking at them saying, oh my goodness, the blouses, the drapes. Are there any particular saris that you have absolutely loved while portraying a role of yours?
Yes. I think my chiffons in Nagin that I wore, and even in gold, the cotton saris. Cotton saris are my absolute favorite.
Mine too.
If they are hand printed, then even better.
Yeah.
Lal par saris, like the traditional one. I absolutely love them. And I mean, I like to go according to the occasion also, I guess now. If it's a wedding, a reception rather, I'd choose like a sequin sari. If it is a pujo at home, or even then I'll opt for a cotton sari or a chiffon that's easy to wear and kind of run around, and at the same time looks beautiful and nice and flowy. So saris are my absolute favorite. You give me, like, I can live in them every single day of my life.
Yeah. Your chiffon ones were actually incredible in Nagin. I remember seeing them. But like I said, I mean, the vintage versions in gold were just so incredibly charming as well. And I like to see those styles kind of coming back as well. I think a lot of women are starting to kind of go back and take inspiration from vintage cuts. It's also very interesting, since we're talking about cinema, that the sari has kind of been stereotyped, right? I mean, it's always a good girl and the vamp, quote unquote, right? What's your take on that? Like, the sari kind of works differently for each, doesn't it?
I guess it's also been interpreted like that, that like a good girl would wear a sari, somebody who's playing a negative character would wear slightly like louder colors or like more makeup. And not just with sari, I think even with outfits, like even with Western outfits, we kind of try and give the positive character more subtle kind of colors and cuts, and the vamps more edgy or experimental. So I think it's a stereotype that have existed for a very, very long time. It is also to do with what audience kind of interpret or like want to see you as. So I think it kind of works both ways. So what the makers are making is accepted widely, which is why it kind of keeps happening. But having said that, times have changed now, and it's already changed, I feel. And now we have more like even in cinema, or thanks to the OTT platforms, we have a kind of like different kind of cinema and role and characters, and outfits are just an extension of your personality and not to establish the characters. So that's nice to see. But saris have been stereotyped forever, and I don't think we needed to, but I can see that line diminishing as well.
No, you're absolutely right. I feel like now it's being portrayed more as a reflection of real life, because I mean, this is what women do in real life. It's not to kind of talk about quote unquote their character, but to actually showcase their personalities. So I think you're absolutely right. And taking from that further, it's not just on screen, but I feel like even off screen, I feel like the sari kind of was stereotyped, like when you wear a sari for an event. And I'm so happy to see that change as well, because I mean, just taking you as an example, you've kind of worn incredible traditional Banarsi weaves, but even more modern sequined ones, So I'm curious to see, to know your views on if you feel that wearing a sari for events, the bigger ones especially, has it stopped being stereotyped as well?
Honestly, I have never cared. What the tags that you're talking about, people, I don't know, thinking of me a certain way or too Indian. Or it's actually been a narrative with me which has been very, very confusing. If I talk about myself, initially when I did Kyunki, they said, okay, she can only play girl next door characters, and then suddenly I did say Shawa Zara Nach Ke Dikha, and suddenly they were like, oh, she dances, she can do contemporary and Western styles, and she looks too glamorous, maybe cast her for a negative character. And then I did Mahadev, which was a completely like Indian kind of a role, and then suddenly, so I have always kind of, so there's no point, I guess. And saris are just so beautiful, and I've never cared about what people had to think or say about me, and especially in events. And I truly believe I know that whatever I try and dress up according to the occasion, and saris go well with most of them.
And
so I love wearing them to all functions and events and to the weddings and anything important.
Note to everybody, Mouni looks incredible in whatever she chooses to wear, so stop trying to put her in a box. How's that?
You're too sweet.
Just to wrap up, you've mentioned a few saris which are in your wardrobe and in your collection. Personally, just wanted to hear what your absolutely favorite weaves are, or is there a particular style that you love wearing? And also
Chikankari, Kanjivaram,
all of it.
Chikankari, Kanjivaram, Banarsi,
all of it.
Chiffon, Georgette, all of them. Sequins. Sequins are my recent favorites. Okay. But my all-time would be traditional lal pad with golden border Bengali sari.
Are there any go-to places that you like going to shop for them, or any designers that you like visiting? Just for everybody to know. Family secrets.
Yes, no, it's not a secret. Actually, I have a few people who kind of come home and show me the saris. I can tell you the brand name probably later. And my mom usually shops for all my saris. So we have a tradition that before Durga Puja and Saraswati Puja, you're gifted saris by your relatives and your elders. So that is the time. I think twice a year I receive 7-8 saris from my entire family. So they come from various different places, but they come from very small little boutique shops, either in Kuch Bihar or Kolkata, basically West Bengal, and then I wear them throughout the year.
And I'm so happy that we get to see you wearing them. Mouni, thank you so much for speaking to me about this. It's so lovely to connect with you and have this open, fun conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. It was lovely talking to you.
Lovely talking to you as well.